My name is Ana del Castillo. I'm, how old am I? 58 years old. That's awesome. I live in Chicago and I work with women who are powerful and at work, but at home they lose themselves with their relationships. I help them work through their issues around codependency and people pleasing and show them how to have remarkable, satisfying, fulfilling relationships without losing themselves.
Why did you join TSOE?
Instinct, really. There was a test or something that my husband Ken had done, and it was the answer that came out for him was really insightful about him, and I thought, oh, I want someone to see me that way, and so, or something to see me that way, and so I did that sort of test or the model that he has about what energy level you are in terms of your personal life and then also work. And it was right on the money. And it asked me a particular question at the very end that hooked me completely line and sinker. The question was, what if your business could hold you the way you hold everybody else, like your clients? And I just personally hold my clients in an exquisitely, delicious way. My listening for them and their potential and who they are and what I hold is exquisite. And the idea of having my business hold me the way I hold my clients, I was like, I want that. So I jumped in without knowing more than that. The idea of that was really compelling.
What's the biggest shift you would say that you experienced while being inside of TSOE?
There's so many things. Let me see if I can put them in order. As I said, I'm 58 years old. So I'm 58 years old, fine. But I've been an entrepreneur for a while. And while I've been successful, there's always been a mystery about it. My successes, I could point to what I did, but I didn't fully get it. And my failures, I sort of could point to that too, but didn't fully really get it. And it sort of felt like I was a little bit broken, or I just didn't quite have the right makeup, or didn't really know exactly what I was doing. And somehow other people had the tools or had the genes or had the, no, I don't know, other people had it. I somehow didn't. And genuinely, it takes my experience has been is that it's just taken the mystery out of why I've been successful and why I wasn't being successful. So that's the first thing. To not be in mystery around that has been, so I could almost cry around how relieving and how it settled the anxiety around somehow the fear that I was a failure, the fear that there was something, it's just sort of wiped that clean. The other thing that has been remarkable is that I don't have to pretzel myself or change myself in order to be successful at my own business. The very thing I teach other women how to do in relationships, I could actually do myself in business. So that was amazing and astounding. And there's also, there really is, it's not that I hate to say it, but I have been, I don't know about resistant to it, something. Maybe allergic is the better answer to that. I've been slightly allergic to that there really is something about being in someone's energetic field, and how so much of what is communicated is not just the actual things that are being communicated, but the second and third conversation underneath that's being spoken, that you pick up in that person's presence and in their ether. And that does its own magic and its own work and transformation just by being in the group, just by being in the presence, So there's the conversation that's happening on the thread, in the weekly classes, in the, retreats like these. But then there's also a sort of underneath conversation that goes on even while you're not involved, that transforms. So all of it.
And what would you say to somebody who's on the fence, or unsure of joining TSOE?
Trust yourself, deeply trust yourself. So if it's a no, then have it be a no. But if it's a yes and it's the pea under the 20 mattresses that's this doesn't make any sense, but it's a yes, jump in with 2 feet, your whole entire body. because that thing is the thing that you learn how to do, is to trust your own breadcrumbs and your own nudge and your own instinct and your own intuition back to yourself, back to the heart of your business. It's cold out here, so I have boogers. So if you're a no, trust that. And if you're a yes underneath and you can't sort of shake it, jump in.
What are two things that you want to celebrate yourself for?
My courage ongoing in the face of things that have been just my courage. And my capacity for love. Yeah. I hope both of those things expand ongoing until I have no more breath in my body. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to share?
It's really great to be in community. And community where everyone is glorious and human and like there's no big deal around both of those things. It's like accepted. I think Scott is one of those, like, he's a genius and he's also just a deeply normal, like regular human. And it gives us permission to be geniuses and completely normal, fallible fuck-ups, remarkable fuck-ups, you know? So yeah, that's what I would say.